Greetings, all you Jackson Jennets, and welcome to your daily dose of donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, coming to you solo. Super Bowl Sunday's upon us. It's time to crown the champion, the one team that doesn't go home sad and accomplishes its main mission, and the 31 other teams, that come up a little bit short. But before we get into that, Steeler news, TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year, well-deserved, great honor. What can you say? Man was amazing this year, tying an all-time sack record. Great to see that. Now, without further ado, let's get into a quick breakdown of what's going to happen here on Super Bowl Sunday. You got the Rams, you got the Bengals, the Bungles. I tell you what, though, Joe Cool's something special. But if you look at these teams side to side, I mean, Odell Beckham Jr., Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford playing well enough in the playoffs, a defense led by Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, adds Von Miller. You look at this, the Rams were the favorite going into this year for a reason. They have sold out all their future picks. They have sold out a bunch of future cap space to make this team as dynamic as possible. Will it work out? Who knows? I mean, they have the people to stop what the Bengals do, and they have the players to make it hard on the Bengals. I mean, Eli Apple struggled with speedy receivers his whole career. He's going to be going up against some great ones this week. Mike Hilton, not really much of a coverage guy. Is going to have to be able to shut down Van Jefferson, or are they just going to bring Hilton on blitzes all the time? But you look at what the Rams bring, you have to think they're the favorite in this game. I mean, you have a guy who really, really wants it. And I said this last year with Ndamukong Suh on Tampa Bay. Sometimes those veteran guys who really want it just inspire a team to get it done. There's Matthew Stafford. There's Odell Beckham Jr. There's Aaron Donald. There's Von Miller, but he's been there, done that. There's Jalen Ramsey. You have a good core of veteran all-pro players that haven't had this before and really want it. I think the Rams get a big boost there. Special teams, I got to look at the Bengals, though. I mean, the rookie kicker, there's a reason he was drafted. He's been ice in his veins, clutch. Let's not overlook what that defense has done since bringing in Hendrickson to go with Hubbard. That's a good, solid defensive line. I've talked about him before. Wilson, the middle linebacker. Love that guy. They did a decent job building the offensive line. Still areas to go there as Burrow's getting sacked a bunch. Can they hold up against the pass rush of the Rams? Are they going to be able to get T. Higgins over top? Is it going to be Jamar Chase going over top? There's talented receivers there. Joe Mixon, good running back. Can he get going against the front seven of the Rams? What are we going to see? This is a really fun game to watch. You have Joe Burrow, Mr. Joe Cool. He's a great player to watch. It's unfortunate the AFC North is going to be absolutely stacked with quarterback talent for the few coming years at least. Between him and Lamar Jackson, although I guess you could say Lamar took a big step back this year, but I don't know what to think. I think this should be a good Super Bowl. That's what I'm hoping for. A competitive game. Hopefully a great halftime show. I'm looking forward to it. You got Dr. Dre. You got some Snoop Doggy Dogg. You got Mary J. Blige. You got Eminem. You got Kendrick Lamar, I believe is the last one. I mean, it should be a great halftime show. I'm looking forward to it. I hope there's some good commercials again instead of all this lame just, we all gotta show love the world, love each other things. Some of those can be good commercials, but I want some funny stuff in there. I miss the old beer commercials that would make you just laugh. I miss the crazy commercials that would push the boundaries of maybe what is acceptable. I really just want to be entertained. That's all it is. I want this game to be entertaining. So the real question is now, I picked against the Bengals. They won. Every time I picked the Bengals, they won. So should I go back to picking the Bengals? Or should I go with the Rams, who both times I picked against them, they won and I look silly, and then the time I pick them, they win? I think I have to go with the Rams, which is hard to say because I love Tyler Boyd, but I love Aaron Donald. Pitt kid's always going to get it done. So I'm going to go for the absolute best player in football because you know what? I think that's going to be the difference is which team has the best player that's going to make the best plays. And I just don't know if the Bengals have the ability to stop Aaron Donald. I hope it's an entertaining game. I hope it's a close game. I'd really love to see it come down to, does Joe Cool get about 3 minutes within, let's call it 5 points? Can he go down and lead a touchdown drive and win it all for the Bengals? Can the Bengals get off that snipe of just a franchise that's underperformed for so long? Is this the coaching staff to get it done? Does McVay finally, after the Rams selling everything, prove his worth, or does he come up short once again? There's a lot of compelling storylines here. I think it's going to be a great game. I can't wait for it. I think the Rams win by 5. Let's be honest here. They have a home field advantage. They are playing in their stadium. It's got to make you a little calm. We saw Tampa Bay last year do the same thing. And NFL, I'm just saying, if you never want to worry about the home team hosting the Super Bowl again, I'm just saying you could just rotate it between Jacksonville and Dallas, and I think you'd be pretty safe on never having to worry. Some more fun stuff coming to light. Roger Goodell trying his best to cover up everything in the world. Now we'll talk a little football news. As the NFL knew about Alvin Kamara's absolute beatdown of another human being, which got him booked and charged because you can't do that to people, especially people who don't fight you. When you go and start something, you're always going to get in trouble. NFL knows about that before the Pro Bowl. They decide to still let him play in the Pro Bowl because, well, let's be honest, the NFL just cares about making money. They don't care about holding people accountable to any kind of standards that they claim they do. Washington football team is now called the Washington Commanders. Worst choice in the history of choices. I mean, you should be the Washington Sentinels. Let's be honest. If you're going to name yourself after the team and the replacements, because at least it would be awesome. And maybe you could use Keanu Reeves for some publicity stuff. But no one wants to work with Dan Snyder because he's a total D-bag that's probably, if things get held the way they should, be forced to sell that team. And let's be honest, it'd just be better for the NFL if he didn't own a franchise. Any other fun stuff that went around in the NFL this week? I mean, Goodell's bad. Flores still pushing his case. A couple minority coaches hired, and Lovie Smith and is it McKay, the guy in Miami? Good to see that happen. But I'm not sure too much other fun stuff went on in the NFL. It wasn't really a big, crazy week since the only thing to talk about is the Super Bowl. I gave you the best analysis I could of these two teams because I'm not a huge into either of these teams guy, but when you see it on the field, you see a lot of offensive talent, a weaker offensive line in the Bengals, which is what I think gives the Rams the advantage on offense. On defense, it's just Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey give you almost an advantage over any team you're going to play. You add Von Miller into that, and yeah, it's going to look really, really good for the Bengals out there. Or not the Bengals, the Rams out there against the Bengals, you'd have to say. But special teams advantage to the Bengals, and we've seen that made big things. Kind of good to see a couple teams that defenses probably outperform the offenses through the playoffs make it to the Super Bowl, because we all know defense wins championships. Gingy would love to hear it. Yeah, that's about all I got. So I guess it's time for a shout-out. Shout-out has to be, once again, TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year. Great to see it. Also, shout-out to the Pitt kids playing in the Super Bowl. Aaron Donald, Tyler Boyd, both of you, go get yourselves a ring because you both deserve it. I wish you both could get one in the same game, but we know it ain't going to happen. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. It was a quick one. Once I get back to Steelers talk, it's going to be a little more in-depth. That should be next week. I'll start the first breakdowns of what we saw happen this season with the Steelers by the number stuff, what we could look forward to in the offseason, and who knows where we're going to go from there. Without further ado, I am Viking Donkey on Xbox. That's Viking_Donkey if you want to watch me on Twitch or hit me up on Twitter. Your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger is the YouTube channel. Feel free to check it out. Leave me a like, leave me a comment. Let me know if you want to see the Laskers and Gingy return, because I know they will at some point. But it's just been kind of weird, kind of scheduling, kind of breaks for everybody, you know. But hey, Steeler Nation, Donk Nation, we're not in the Super Bowl, but wave them if you got them.